because the kid's upstairs asleep. I've moved my office upstairs, so because they're downstairs all day now, so I've had to move downstairs, and that's all very boring, isn't it?
Let's get the show underway, shall we?
My name's Ollie Peart, and this is...
Tim Warwood.
A man who was going to go to China but didn't end up going to China and will now spend the next couple of weeks hanging out in a room full of his own farts.
I'm a little bit gutted. So check this out, a brand new series of the Après, just in time, and in time with the Winter Olympics.
Yep, this is your daily, you heard, daily dose of all things wintry and Olympery for the duration of the Games. As the Olympic torch flickers its emission skyward, tipping CO2 levels to the point where Greta Thunberg's head literally explodes and the opening ceremony volunteers clutch their gift bags full of disappointment, we've slid our ways back to our log cabin for yet another season of the Après. How you doing, Tim? This is nice. It's been a while.
Mate, I'm laughing because when you said about the Olympic volunteers clutching their gift bags of disappointment... But yes, what an absolute pleasure and an honour it is to be back. And actually, it was touch and go for a while, wasn't it? France was closed. No one could go skiing. Everything was doom and gloom, but it's all starting to open up. And we thought to ourselves, do you know what? With the Winter Olympics happening and with the ski resorts around the world opening up, let's open up the log cabin again, throw another log on the fire, and let's have a good old natter, all things wintry. And I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, me too. We wanted to launch a little earlier on, but the timing's been a bit awful because I am now a dad. I'm a dad, Tim.
Congratulations.
I have juice in my loins. Proven.
You're not a man, but you're a working man.
It's hard though. I don't think I fully understood or appreciated how difficult it is to be a parent. It is the single most difficult thing I've ever done in my life.
And you're doing half the work because you're the man. Like the women do the hard work, they do the actual real work.
Yeah.
All you're doing is supporting the woman. You're barely doing anything at the minute. It's still hard. So imagine how it must be for a woman.
That's true. How's things with you? Where are you now at the moment then? Are you in BBC headquarters?
No, not far. I can see it from where I am. Yes, very near to the BBC Media City up in Salford. All of the commentary teams and most, if not all of the production is in Manchester. Obviously, due to COVID, they're really scaling back on who they're sending over to China. So they've put me up in a very swanky apartment. I'm here being nocturnal for 2 weeks while I do the commentary.
How are you going to do that? You got to manage it. You got to eat at weird times. So, what time is it? What time is it in China now?
Good question, Ollie. It's an answer I should know.
I'm just going to Google it, Tim. It's just easy. If I'm just here.
Oh, I've got it on my phone. It's 5:22 a.m.
Right, and I know that you've got food on the way, right? So, tell me you've ordered breakfast.
We've ordered curry.
See, that's stupid.
Well, we're not in Beijing mode just yet. I've got a banana. I'll eat a banana before I go on the broadcast.
You want to give yourself the best chance. You want to make sure that you're realigning your body and mindset to Beijing time. So you should be on cornflakes now.
I should be stretching and doing yoga already. No, we're going to be fine. We're going to be on curries. We're going to sleep for a couple of hours now. We're going to wake up. First broadcast is at 2:45. Women's snowboard slopestyle qualifiers. And then we're going to smash that out. A couple of hours, then back home to bed.
Sounds like a lovely evening. Right, well, this being a special series of the Après, we're not going out anywhere. We would normally leave the log cabin at this point, or somebody would knock at the door. No one's knocking at the door today. There's no one coming in.
No.
Although there will be throughout the series. We're going to stay right here. We are going to just sit and stay right here. So sling us the remote, Tim. Hand it over.
There you go.
Thank you. That's my TV sound effect. TVs don't sound like that anymore, do they? No. Do you remember the time when TVs, I think it was sort of the sort of first batch of flat screen TVs, which still were about 4 inches thick. When you turn them on, they took ages to turn on, and the red light would just flash, and it would just take ages. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Like it was warming up or something.
Yeah, like someone stoking a fire inside of the TV.
Anyway, now our TV's turned on.
Yeah, now it's turned on. Let's talk about the opening ceremony. I'll start. I didn't watch it.
I can very quickly brief you on what happened. 3,000 athletes from 91 nations all walked out into the middle of an empty stadium.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. I remember the Beijing Summer Games. The opening ceremony for that was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
I do remember from the Beijing Games, the opening ceremony, they had the fireworks, didn't they? And they flew a helicopter up the main road to the bird's nest. This would have been in the summer, of course. And they were firing up fireworks towards the helicopter. And I remember it's like a tracking shot as they're heading towards the thingy. And all these amazing fireworks are going off. Then it cut to an inside shot from the stadium and there were no fireworks. So it was clearly filmed on a completely different day to what they were doing. It wasn't like a live because there were no fireworks going off on the stadium.
It's a health and safety nightmare, that. Firing fireworks at a helicopter.
My mate Gendel was telling me a story actually about fireworks. Look, this is a little bit of a diversion here, but you'll like this. He was at a special Millennium firework display that was going to spell 2000. So a firework would go off and it would go 2, and then the next one would go off, bang, 0, 0, and apparently the fireworks went off, and the first one went off, it went 0, and then the next one went off, 2, next one's... Whoever'd put those fireworks in order had one job.
Fucking idiots. All I've seen is a photograph of some, like, fluorescent ice hockey players. That's all I've seen of it so far.
It is what it is, isn't it? It was good. They had the athletes come out, and actually Beijing, the bird's nest, there's a lot of the alpine disciplines which are up in the mountains, so there were quite a few athletes missing. But the one amazing thing was cool is, you know, you get this projection mapping is quite big now.
Projection mapping.
Projectors projecting down. Well, this wasn't. This was a massive, giant floor television. They were walking on a huge LED screen.
See, I mean, this is how TVs have moved on. From the flickering light that just goes on for 12 minutes before your TV starts to a giant TV floor. How do you even install that, Tim? I don't know why I'm asking that question either, because you don't know the answer.
Yeah, but pretty amazing, though, to see it. Like how big it was, these LED screens. It is literally the size of a football pitch. You
could watch football in 1-to-1 scale. Like, you could have a football pitch 1-to-1 scale. But they'd be all like flat because it would be 3D.
You absolutely could. Are we going to talk about the fact that these games are controversial?
Yeah. I mean, they're being boycotted, aren't they? I mean, it doesn't really feel like it, though.
The media will just plough on with it, though, won't they? And keep reporting about it.
Well,
you need, like, all of the best teams to not come.
None of the athletes seem to have boycotted it. I don't know if there are any that have. I mean, who is boycotting it? Well, I've heard it's been boycotted, but by who?
Team GB's Gus Kenworthy, freestyle skier. Now, you might remember Gus Kenworthy. He actually won a silver medal for Team USA in skiing slopestyle back in 2014, but he's since defected to Team GB. And he's come out and said, actually, that China's not very well suited to host the Games. And he goes on to talk about their human rights. He calls it appalling human rights records that they have here, which is pretty bad. And he goes on to say that the IOC should take a stance against it and all this. It's like, it's pretty big. I think he'll probably find that his visa won't work when he gets to Beijing International Airport.
Yeah, the rubber gloves will work, though. I mean, he'll get checked for sure. It's the massive elephant in the room, isn't it? It is well known for its shocking track record on human rights. I feel like we shouldn't get involved. Let's not get involved, Tim. We could cause a diplomatic uproar. Let's not get involved. Let's not say anything. Don't say anything bad about the Chinese. Just don't. They're probably listening now anyway.
Hello, China. So let's focus on the good then. I'm going to start first and foremost with all of those sports that you never normally watch. I mean, ski flying, ski jumping is insane.
Yeah.
Love that sport, but I only love it every 4 years. Biathlon, skiing and shooting, it's like a James Bond chase scene. Although the guns aren't guns anymore, are they? They're like laser things. They're not even... They used to be like proper 2.2 air rifles or whatever, didn't they? I think they actually used to be proper rifles. Then they downgraded them to BB guns, and now they're like laser things, but still pretty rad.
I wonder what the ominous history is behind that. It has to be hunting related. Like, you go out skiing with your gun and then shoot a bear or whatever, or a moose, and then sling that over your shoulder, go home, cook it up on the fire. And then someone was like, oh, we'd make a game out of it. And then they did.
Feed the family.
Yeah.
Feed the family. So what sport are you looking forward to becoming an armchair expert at then, Ollie?
Curling. Curling is the sport that every Winter Olympics everybody just gets really into. And one of the reasons for that, which I only realised today, actually, is because it's on all the fucking time. Like, it is literally on every day for the whole of the games.
Yeah.
So when there's nothing else on, it's like, oh, just put the curling on. Whatever. We're going to do this every day, right? So we're doing this every day. And I want to become an expert in curling. So by the end of this run of the après, I want to just be the absolute fucking oracle for this sport. So I've been doing some research already.
All right, good.
Because I one of the things that I'm intrigued about is, like, where do you get curling stuff from? Like, I've never seen a curling shop.
It's just a broom, innit? You just need a broom and a mat, non-slip mat. Then you need the big stones. But do you know those stones? Now, there is something about curling stones. I think all of the marble for curling stones comes from the same place.
It's Scottish granite. And there's a guy called Mark Callan, right? And he works for K's. I think it's called K's. And they're the people that make the stones, right? They make the stones. And he goes along to the Winter Olympics and he checks the stones. I don't know what he's checking them for. Like, I mean, they're fucking stones, you know? Like, what's...
K's Curling, yeah. They've got the sole rights to produce curling stones. And it's from Isla Craig in the Outer Hebrides.
That's got to be some kind of competition commission, like, rule against that. We're the only people that can make curling stones. Can you imagine that?
The curling stones are quarried for its rare type of microgranite. It's called blue hone. How good is that?
It is good, but it does sound like bullshit. And I think I say that. Well, I say that because I feel like you could kind of. It's a bit. I tell you what it's like. It's like worktops, right? In kitchen worktops. All a worktop is just a hard surface, but they come up with all this kind of like marketing spiel to make it sound like you should pay more for a particular type of worktop, and it's exactly the same. And I've noticed in curling that there's an awful lot of this. So you mentioned a broom before, right? And I was thinking, how much is a typical broom, right? You go into a shop, hardware shop, go and buy a broom. How much is a broom?
I don't know, like a tenner or something, £8. Don't know.
Tenner, £8. I would guess something like that, right? If you want a curling brush, right, the Balance Plus Light Speed, which is available in 3 new colours for 2020, this is quite an old website, hasn't been updated in quite a long time, is the very lightest and effective curling brush. It weighs only 293 grams, and you can get it with Lightspeed RS 7-inch or Lightspeed RS XL 9-inch. I don't know what that means. I need to find out by the end of this series because I can be an expert. It's £148.50.
Wow. All right. I won't be buying one. I'll say that. I'll go for the cheap. Go for the cheaper version.
So I'm looking forward to the curling, man. Yeah, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Just because I can kind of sit. It's a bit like darts, really. You can just sit and drink and watch it and shout at them at the same time. What's happening? What we got happening tomorrow?
So Winter Olympics starts in earnest tonight. It's going to come thick and fast. So Saturday morning, very early, UK time, 2:45, women's snowboard slopestyle qualifying. We roll straight into Sunday morning at 1:30. That'll be the women's slopestyle finals. Then we've got the men's directly after that, the men's snowboard slopestyle qualifying. Then we get into free ski big air, men's free ski big air qualifying. So it's gonna come thick and fast. It's gonna be really good. And there's loads of good stuff. And I think we touched on it there very slightly about all the other sports. But I have to be a bit biased, only because the sports that I work on, the freestyle stuff, it's just so good. It's way better than everything else. It's like fast and furious, and snowboard cross is insane. And Charlotte Banks probably going to win a gold medal. And then, we've got little Kirsty Muir, the Scottish skier. She's 17 in freestyle skiing. She's going to smash it. And it's going to be good, man. We're going to have a really good couple of weeks, and the freestyle disciplines are going to be insane.
Do you have, in your area of expertise, do you have like, a wild card prediction of who is going to hit the headlines.
Me and Ed both think this. I think this course it's big and it's icy and it's quite scary, so it's going to suit the experienced rider, but it also might just suit somebody who is just a bit fearless, someone that's like got nothing to lose. And in that, you've got Kirsty Muir, the youngster. If she gets the rub of a green, if she can lay her tricks down, if perhaps one of the top seeds takes a tumble, because that always happens, one of the favourites will always take a little bit of a tumble. They're not going to get hurt. We don't wish ill health of anybody, but if they take a little tumble, then it could be Kirsty Muir, and we could be seeing the youngest Team GB athlete get a medal, and that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, man. I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited that we're doing this and we're doing it daily. We'll be delving into this more, each of the sports more. This is just the first episode. Yeah. We're going to be getting guests on. You're going to be, you were at the hub of it at the British Broadcasting Corporation, and you're going to try and steal us some quality guests that we can get on and just acquire them.
Sir. And also happy to take any kind of questions or recommendations from you, the listener. So if there is something you want to know, if there's something you don't understand, if you want something delving into, then you know what to do. Just hit us up straight into the DMs. Let us know what it is you want to know, and we'll endeavour to get that question or query answered or sorted.
You can also email theatpraypod@gmail.com if you've got any questions to throw Tim's way, or that he can put to some kind of other expert, or you can just ask me anything about curling, because I am the oracle of curling, if that's, what you want. But that's it for this show. I was going to say this week, but it's not this week. That's it for today. My God. This is quite the commitment, Tim. You know that. We are committed now.
We're going to be fine. Don't you worry about it.
Hey, best of luck with all the commentary bits, and I will see you
nice one
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.